I scoured the internet for one of the most ridiculous Chicago Bulls trade rumors, so you didn't have to. Let's get into it right after this. Listen, if you are new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. This is your boy PK from the Windy City Breeze. Let's talk about the Chicago Bulls and some of the most ridiculous trade rumors I've heard in this offseason. Look, let's just jump right into it. DeMar DeRozan is absolutely one of those players that we feel can be traded, mainly because of the production he gives us. He's the fact he's a bona fide bucket. He's an all-star, and we know that because of his value, we can get a good haul for it, potentially. And there are a lot of teams that absolutely need his production. They need what he does. I can name 10 of them off the top of my head that could use a DeMar DeRozan, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he fits in what we're trying to do. And teams like expiring contracts, he's on a last deal of his. So again, this makes him even more valuable on top of of what he can do on the court. But trading him to the New York Knicks for RJ freaking Barrett ain't gonna happen. Listen, I don't know what the fascination is with RJ Barrett. I thought that he would have a better career than some of his contemporaries, the ones he was drafted with. I kind of put my foot in my mouth. Even with what he's done and how healthy he's been, he's very streaky. And I get that he's young, this, that, and the other, but I already have a couple of young players on the Chicago Bulls that are worth developing, are worth getting a shot, are worth getting 30 minutes and taking maybe 17 shots a game to put up the same amount of numbers that RJ Barrett gives the New York Knicks. Patrick Williams is one of them. Just the name, just throw a name out there, right? But for some odd reason, the New York Knicks faithful, the Chicago Bulls, I just want to call it idiots, are sitting there saying that a trade for DeMar DeRozan being traded to the New York Knicks, and I think Isaiah Hartenstein was on there as well, makes sense. No, it don't. Listen, if I want to go find a 6'6", 6'7" streaky shooter, defensive liability with a potentially, I don't want to say low basketball IQ, but much to be desired, I put Kobe White in the starting lineup and live with it. Yeah, they're the same height. They play the same game. I give Kobe White 31 minutes and let him shoot 17 times a game, and I'm pretty sure he'll give me the same production RJ Barrett gives the New York Knicks. I don't see that being a plus. I don't see me trading DeMar DeRozan for RJ Barrett being a plus. I don't care who else is with the package. I don't care if it's another pick or anything like that. RJ Barrett on this team makes no sense. I have that player already. Like, that's disrespectful. It's actually mad disrespectful to DeMar because it's like, yo, out of all the people y'all traded me for, like, even with a pick, him, like, y'all, that was the headliner of this trade? Like, seriously? Like, come on, bro. Be for real. Like, that type of stuff, like, nah. Those are the type of reports and stuff that actually got traction. There are actual videos. People sat down and made real thought out videos and said, that's actually a good trade. No, the heck it ain't. No, it ain't. No way in the world. By the way, again, I have that player already. DeMar DeRozan is 25 points a game, 50% from the field, darn near. I already got someone who can get me 19 points if I give him the opportunity and shoot 42, 43% on a good day. Yeah, that's RJ Barrett. 31% from three. That's RJ Barrett. He don't help me. I got that. Like, let's stop. Be for real. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not saying that trading DeMar to the Knicks is a bad thing. I'm just saying that trading it for him is disrespectful because I truly believe that Julius Randle on the Chicago Bulls is actually worth it. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about Julius Randle. They don't like his attitude at times. They don't like the fact that he rarely goes left, or maybe he only goes left. Whatever the situation is, like he only goes one direction, stuff like that. They don't like some of those things. I get it, but he's 20-10 and a dog. 2010 dog, good defender. He's a good defender, and for the position he plays, he's a top 10 talent at the position he plays. Putting him in a trade for DeMar DeRozan actually makes sense. Now, I'm not saying that that's possible. I'm just saying that, hey, there's a lot of other people that you can actually package together that would make that a lot more exciting and be more respectable than DeMar DeRozan going in. By the way, like sincerely, why the heck would they want DeMar DeRozan in the first place? I mean, you would have three or four people that do the same thing. Mid range, go downhill. Like I get it's the NBA court is bigger than most courts that people go. Like you and I, as the average fan, most people don't get the chance to play on a real league court. The court is big compared to us, average people. 5'10", 5'11", maybe 6 foot, right? 6'7", 6'9", that court get real small. The spacing gets real. No, they don't need. Tell you how much this don't make sense. They don't need that. They really don't. Again, I don't see that being viable by any stretch of the imagination. Now, I'm not here to sit here again and say that any trade package involving the Knicks is bad. I know I just said that, but I got to reemphasize it. It's just a simple fact. It got to make sense. Come on, baby. Work with me. Work with me, because that's just not cutting it. I'll tell you another trade rumor that I heard that I thought was absolutely ridiculous. Zach Levine being traded. Listen, I get it. I get it. I totally understand where some people are coming from when they say, well, you know what, we could trade Levine. He doesn't do this. Zach Levine is a top talent shooting guard in this league. There are not many guards who can do what he does the way they use, especially since All-Star break. Like, allow the man to get healthy. Allow the man to come into his own. Allow the man not to have to compete with shots with another person who does the exact same thing. Allow him not to have redundancy at his position and see what he can do. Because compared to everyone else, I mean, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are in the playoffs right now. I see them getting cooked by Jimmy Butler. I see Jason Tatum having the same issues with the ball handling that Zach Levine gets cooked for in Chicago. Guess what? What I'm trying to tell you is some of the things that you all like to highlight about Zach Levine's game are very common amongst top talent at his position around the league. There are no perfect players here. But everyone likes to highlight our players, dig in deep and stuff like that, and excuse stuff that happens. Devin Booker had some of the same mistakes. Now, Devin Booker was on a historic run. He was cooking. I give him that. But you have to look at the situations that he was in to allow himself to cook. When you have KD across from you, who's automatically demanding a double as soon as he crosses half court, it frees you up to do a lot more. He don't necessarily have KD across from him. When you have a legendary point guard who can help teach you the game and stuff like that, you elevate your game so much more from a mental perspective, and you allow the game to come to you, which is exactly what happened for Devin Booker. Guess what? It looks a lot better. All I'm saying is this. That's the only player that I will put above him at his position. And maybe James Harden, who's playing more point at this point. And James Harden is taking a considerable step back. But Bradley Beal, I wouldn't put him above Zach Levine. Jaylen Brown, I wouldn't put him above Zach Levine, especially not now. Like, no, none of those people I would put above him. I would just say it's all about opportunity and the teams built around him. It's really easy to sit there and say, well, Jaylen Brown looks better than him when he has Jason Tatum and the entire Boston Celtics team who've been cooking most of the season to make you look good and cover up your mistakes. Zach Levine don't have that in Chicago necessarily. Everyone's been injured and out of lineup, stuff like that. It's not the same situation. It's not apples to apples. So I just want to say, any trade rumor with Zach Levine, stupid. What we doing? Why would we trade away Zach Levine? There are trade rumors out there that says trade away Zach Levine and keep DeMar. Are you crazy? That don't even make sense. Like, I know I've been on the soapbox of saying, hey, we need to trade one of them. Not because they're bad, but it was always the older player. If you're gonna trade anyway, you trade away the older player on an expiring contract. You don't trade the guy you just gave $215. Like, use your common sense. I don't know if I should be using that one right here in this video, but guess what? Use your common sense. I'm going to ride with it anyway. Because at this point, no, you're not trading Zach Levine. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. It has to be one. AK has to really be thinking, I'm going to totally go for a rebuild, which is exactly what he said he did not want to do. And you don't have to do that to do this. But again, I want to hear you all's thoughts. I want to hear how you all feel about RJ Barrett. I want to hear about how you all feel about any trade involving Zach Levine, because I think it's just ludicrous. You don't do that. It's absolutely not what you do, especially when you have to pay him to even rebuild your reputation amongst not paying. Like, come on, bro. Like, be for real. Don't be those people. Don't be those people this offseason. Like, let's be for real. Like, we going to sit there. We're going to get into these analogies. We're going to get into these ridiculous trades because it's silly. It's going to be silly offseason. We got a long time before we see the Bulls play again. So I know I'm going to have to talk about this stuff 1,001 times. But we not talking about that. That is stupid. Right? And for last but not least, can we stop putting Derrick Rose in every trade package to get him back in the Chicago uniform like it's going to actually do something? Like, let that man go to a championship team, ride pine, get a couple minutes, let Derrick Rose go get a ring. Don't bring Derrick Rose back to Chicago when it's absolutely his time to retire. This ain't the time for that. All right, we in a whole different type of time. Put that man on the what they do, them 1-day contracts, retire that jersey, cool stuff like that. But let's not put him in a situation where he has to come back to a struggling team that don't know what's happening. Nah, let Derrick Rose go get his flowers. Let him go get his ring. Stop trying to bring him back to Chicago, dog. Like, I don't even think he want to come back to Chicago unless it's just get that jersey retired. So let's be real on that one. But again, I want to hear your thoughts, man. I want to hear whether it's good or bad. Put it in the comments, man. I'll be in there with you. Until next time, man. Peace.